What do you think your viewing audience is? Do you know? I mean, no.
I know I got to call him. You know, he's gonna call me tomorrow because I'm gonna get booked in again. So that's really good. No, she does my makeup for advertising on the show.
Okay.
She does all.
Oh, well, bartering is awesome.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, Rhonda. I'll call you tomorrow. Yeah, I bought everything with everybody. See the kind of mood I want to be in tonight.
Is your phone off? It's not off. Okay, I'm gonna put it in here with me then.
Mm-hmm.
Come take a drink.
Come take a drink. Come take a drink from a cultural libation. I'm pouring love like art, a positive sensation. Change the channel to a higher vibration, including all races, discrimination. Old and new, make clear in all situations. We're together, leaving behind no generation. Lighting the way for each other. Looking out, protecting sisters and brothers.
Welcome to Fit, Fun, and Fabulosity. We are so delighted that you decided to join us this evening. And as always, it's a pleasure to have you tune in to us. And we hope that you will find some really good information on how to fabulize your life. We'll have a special guest tonight in our first half, and in our second half, we also have two guests and a guest host that will be a part of our show. As always with Fit, Fun, and Fabulosity, we like to say to you that you can fabulize your life in so many different ways. Being comfortable in your own skin and feeling good about who you are, where you are, and whatever you're doing. Life is a process. And to live life as a process, we have to remember that we all are these magnificent, luminous beings. And we all have a purpose here on this planet at this time. And as we do always too, we'd like for you to just remember that you were made in love, by love, for love. Now I would invite you to wherever you are to just take a deep breath, take a breath in with me, and allow the breath to go out. Take another breath in, a deep, long, cleansing breath, and breathe out to the count of 4. And as you continue to breathe and continuing to center yourself in this breath, know that there's one breath that breathes us all. And that one breath that breathes us all gives life to everything, including you. It gives life to every fish in the sea. It gives life to every bird that flies the big blue skies. It gives life to all insects and animals. It gives life to everything. And with giving life, life flows in and out of our bodies. And life gives us movement of our feet to allow us to be able to walk on the earth. Life gives us movement through our bodies so that we can run, jump, and dance and have fun. Remember that. Our feet and our bodies were made to be used. We were made by a being bigger than what we are. Life also gives life to our thoughts, we think, and we go through our 5 senses and we process things through our feelings. And most of all, life flows blood through our bodies from our head to our toes, going into every cell, every tissue, every organ. And as you breathe in again, take a breath in and breathe it out. Life also talks to us. It talks to us through our gut and through our heart. So when we take time, as we are now, to sit in the stillness and know who we are, we know that we are special and that we are unique and that we are precious beings and that we are spiritual beings. Take another breath in. And as you breathe in and out, know that when you come to your heart, the center of it all, that this most precious commodity that resides in our hearts is love. The love of the divine, the love of self, and the love of people that are in your community. Take another breath in. And as you breathe in, know that you are connected to people of all races, all colors, and all creeds all over the world. And this makes us one. We are all one. Let's breathe in again. And as we breathe out, we will relax ourselves, knowing that we are who we are because of what put us together. And as you come back to your heart space again, and you say, thank you, thank you, thank you for having life, for having joy, for being happy, for being where you are and knowing who you are. And with all of that being said, we say, and so it is, and so it shall be. Wonderful. Thank you for joining me in that brief moment of gratitude and brief moment of contemplation through the breath. You know, sometimes we get to going through life, we forget to sit still. And when you don't sit still, I think it's a quote about Maya, when Maya Angelou passed, and she talked about you can hear the spirit in the quietude. I love that quote because I do find that the stiller that I am, the more I can be in tune to who I am. And when you are in tune to who you are from inside out and not going through life with functioning from an external point about what's happening around you, you're able to have a more joyous life. Now, we're going to switch gears here because my next and first guest is my dear friend who I met in a Zumba class, by the way. And we had fun, and I had this little, I used to go, whoop, whoop, in the class all the time, and she would be acting right along with me. She'd fall right in. She'd fall right in line with whatever dance was going, whether we was doing the merengue or whatever we was doing, Beethoven shuffle or whatever it was. We had fun in that Zumba class, and this was in Farmville, Virginia. And she is from Farmville, Virginia. She is a graduate of Longwood University, and she has an undergraduate degree in economics and business. She did postgraduate work and has a statistic in health education. But you know, she's also married to Gene. And you know what, I look at Gene and I look at her, and sometimes you would think, okay, Gene too has been participated in Zumba. He participated in Zumba. I remember a Zumba marathon that we had, and he came and he was right there supporting Patsy in the Zumbathon. She also is the mother of 4 adult children, and she has darling little grandchildren as well, and I know she's very, very proud of them as well. And she loves to travel, and she loves to read. And one of the things that I admire most about my guest, she has been an activist in the Farmville community for 22 years. 22 years. Now, I don't know of any other person that I've known in my whole lifespan that has been a community activist for 22 years. And we're going to let her talk about that in a little bit. But she is my dear friend, and she agreed to do the show with me because, you know, we've had many adventures together. So tonight is going to be adventure as well while we have conversation. I want you all to welcome to my show Patsy Watson. Welcome, Patsy.
Oh, thank you, Yemaja. That's wonderful to be here.
Yeah, wonderful to have you as well. So, you know, we've had many adventures together. You know, meeting at the Y and everything and doing things and deciding to be things. You have reinvented yourself many, many times in your life. And the question that I want you to answer first, being that you have reinvented yourself those many times in your life, what makes your life fabulous now?
I think what makes my life fabulous now is that I'm very happy with what I'm doing, and I get a lot of satisfaction out of the things that I do, and I feel like that I am not only helping myself but also helping others.
Well, that's one of the things that I admire about you, because she is the type of lady, I want you all to know, she not only thinks of herself. You know how some people go through the world, and most of the guests that we've had on our show, and the reason why they are here is because they have a sense of self. They know who they are, they're comfortable in their skin. They not only know who they are and comfortable in their skin, but they give back.
Aww.
And you are a person that gives back to the community. You give back to the community, and you mentor people as well. You know, you also mentor people.
That's correct.
So that's part of being a fabulous person and having a fabulous life. So also, just kind of piggybacking off of that question. Now, I know you've had many professions. You know, you've worked in the community. You were part-time on staff at Longwood University.
That's correct.
And what are some of the other things that you did?
Well, I
Profession.
taught childbirth education in the community.
Okay.
I worked with breastfeeding moms. I worked as a doula, or a labor support individual, with moms throughout their labor in helping them have the birth that they want, empowering them. And I also worked in pregnancy prevention for adolescents, and really with an emphasis on teaching parents how to be the primary sexuality educator for their children.
And that's wonderful. Now, having done all those things, I would like for you to just take 10 words and tell me who you are. Not the professions that you've been in, not your role as wife and grandmother and as mother, but tell me 10 words. Tell me 10 words about who you are. 10 words. Describe who you are.
Wow. I guess I'm friendly,
Mm-hmm.
and outgoing,
Oh, mm-hmm.
and really interested in people.
Mm-hmm.
And I find lots of things very interesting and entertaining in life. I think that I am very tolerant.
Tolerant.
I think I'm observant.
Mm-hmm.
I think that I also am in tune with people and can feel when they hurt or when they're joyful.
Yes. So is that 10?
I'm not sure.
I'm not sure.
I'm not sure.
But I want to add a couple to the list
Okay.
for you. I know that you care a lot about people. You are a very compassionate person. And the one thing that I can say about Patsy, she got your back. She always has your back. And she's loyal. You know, a lot of people you have as friends they are not loyal to you. And before you know it, you can count on your fingers how many friends that you have there. You are loyal.
Aw,
You are
I
a loyal
really
friend.
appreciate you
Yes.
saying that.
And I can tell you all this because there have been many times where I lived in a small town, Saxe, Virginia, and I had to drive to Farmville to go to the Zumba class, because I tell you, we love Zumba. And I would go over there and she would offer me, you can come stay at my house. She said, you can come stay. Not only did she let me come stay, I get up the next morning, she fixed breakfast and everything. We sit there and we chat. And then we go off to the gym and do some more Zumba. But that's the kind of friend she is. So I'm saying you are a loyal and devoted friend.
Thank you.
Now, of all those characteristics that you just stated, which would you say has been the top 3 that has shaped your life to the point where you are now? Which has really shaped your life?
Well, I think the loyalty, because I think that I have friends that I've had since childhood that know that I'm loyal, and so we've stuck through thick and thin together. I think compassion. I think it's made me a good coach. I think it's made me a good doula. I think it's made me a good wife and mother. And probably the friendly part, because it has enriched my life. I've really never met a stranger.
Never met a stranger. Just like we had to tell you all a little bit about the road trip we took. You know, we weren't a Thelma and Louise type thing, but it wasn't that.
It's close.
But we had such an adventure. We planned this for a year that we were going to take this trip. You want to talk a little bit about that?
Sure. We decided that we were going to go to the Zumba convention.
Yes, go to the Zumba convention.
And we discussed flying, but we decided that we'd rather drive.
Yes.
And so we mapped it out so that you were able to visit your dad.
Yes.
And I was able to have a visit with my son.
Mm-hmm.
And then we took a trip to the beach, because that's very important to
Yes,
you,
yes.
because you love to walk on the beach.
Yes.
and we visited St. Augustine, which is just a wonderful memory.
Yes.
That was a great time in that city. Then we headed on to the Zumba convention, and then spent 5 great days down there.
And we had a Zumba party. I mean, it was the biggest. It was, how many people?
I think there were 7,000 instructors there.
Yeah, from all over the world. And we got a chance to just Zumba our butts off, really. I was so tired that I had to get a massage because I had Zumbaed so much. But we had great fun.
We did have great fun. And we charted our classes and our stops by where we get a good Zumba class. So
Yes.
we Zumbaed up and down the East Coast.
We sure did. And one of the things that I think when people remember, when we talk about fit, fun, and fabulosity, that was fun, you all. That was really a lot of fun. And we made memories that I know I treasure now. And refer back to often. And I know we were always trying to get on camera, you know, because they was filming everything all around and we'd be screaming and doing all that stuff. But it was great, great fun. So how has Zumba changed your life?
I think Zumba has allowed me to express this inner joy de vivre that sometimes we hold inside and we don't let people see.
Yeah.
I think it allows you to be crazy, and I tell my people that are taking the class, tell my students that they just need to feel the music and let go. And so I think it has let me go.
Well, one of the things about Patsy, she is nationally certified as a group exercise instructor, which is Zumba is her specialty. She's in Zumba and Aqua Zumba as well.
That's correct.
Yes, so she does, and we've had many different ways of, she also has, when we go back to looking at the Y, she has functioned in just about every role at the Y, including teaching Zumba classes.
That's correct.
Yes.
That's correct.
And one of the things too about, just for a moment to go, we've gone through the Zumba experience and how that changed you, because ladies and gentlemen, I want you to know, literally changed her physically, emotionally, and spiritually, because this is like an after picture here. This is a product of working in Zumba and commitment to fitness. So what is your fitness plan now? What does your fitness plan include?
I think that as the years go on, it really is more about eating healthy, watching what you put into your body, what you fuel your body with, and not worried about the weight. I don't weigh. Maybe I weigh once a month.
Once a month.
Once a month. It has more to do with making sure that I'm protective of my cardio health, but that also I build strength so that as I age, I can continue to do those daily activities that we enjoy doing and are important.
Yeah, functional fitness is very,
correct.
As you age, we had a guest, Brandy Friday, on our show, and she talked about, because she's a personal trainer,
Right.
how most of her clients now, they teach them functional fitness so that they'll be able to keep up with what's going on. I also know, from having known you for a long time, that you also involve yourself with mentoring people. So talk a little bit about the people you've mentored.
Well, I think that comes from sort of being the eternal earth mother. I love helping people, and I love encouraging people to be the best that they can be. I have performed as a coach. I coached swimming for almost 20 years.
Yes.
I've taught thousands of children and adults how to swim. And the mentoring really comes into play when you're coaching athletes that have goals to go beyond just a sport in the community or a high school sport, but they want to swim in college, they want to make it a lifetime sport. And so you're helping them figure out what needs to go in their body, you're helping them figure out the exercise program that is correct for them. And so that's carried over really even in some of the dealings that I have with younger women in my life, and feeling like that I can be a role model for them, and they can see that at any age you can change your body, you can change your spirit, and your mental outlook on life.
Well, I think that's very, very important, because as we age, our bodies change physically. But I know for me, I've gone from living more from inside out. And when you can help someone, a younger person, see that from the start, like especially when they're 17, 18, 19, 21 years old. And sometimes people beyond that don't know that you have to live from the inside out. But you be the role model,
right,
and not preach it to them about what's going on. So I hear all these other things, but what has been one of the most devastating things that's happened to you in your life?
I guess the most devastating thing was the loss of her home in a fire. And it wasn't so much the material possessions as it was the feeling of safety that you lose because you realize that everything can be taken away in an instant. And we were so fortunate that there was no loss of life.
Okay.
And that is just the most wonderful blessing in my life. But you lost the pictures of your children as babies, and you lose your handmade Christmas ornaments that they made in Sunday school and they made in elementary school and that you use to decorate the tree every year. Those are the things that you miss the most. And the surroundings of where you brought your children home from the hospital.
Yeah. But a lot of people just like, sometimes things happen like it, and you take lemons, you make lemonade out of it, and it makes you. I feel like one of the things that happen when challenges come, I feel like the way that I view it now is it's a gift, because out of that comes growth, and you emerge and you evolve, and I've seen that in your life as well. I didn't know you then, but you emerge and you evolve to a whole nother level of living in life when things happen like that. So that's been the most challenging thing. What has been one of the most spectacular things that's happened in your life?
Oh my gosh, I guess the most spectacular thing is the role as a parent. I think that's really kind of what I envisioned myself as, even as a younger girl, was parenting. And we wanted a large family, and we didn't have the 6 children we had said we wanted, but we had 4, and they were very close together, and it was challenging. And there were days when I didn't think I was even going to be able to crawl into bed. I was so tired.
But you went to school and you was going to school at the summertime too, weren't you?
Through part of that, yes. And it taught me, how to problem solve. They taught me how to be humble, because parenting is a very humbling experience. They taught me how to love, and I love my parents, I love my husband, but that feeling when that first child is placed into your arms is something that I was not prepared for, how overwhelming that was.
So was overwhelming in a positive sense?
Oh, in a very positive sense.
Okay.
I think it was, you go from, oh my gosh, what have I done, to this is the most wonderful thing that's ever happened to me, and it is. And
joy. Yeah.
And the second most wonderful thing is the gift of grandchildren. And that is so special in that you don't have the responsibility that goes with parenting, so you can just love them and send them home to their parents.
And you said Lila today, something special happened in her life, right?
Yes.
Lila is her granddaughter.
Lila's my oldest granddaughter, and I'm a retired swim coach, so obviously I want these children to learn how to swim. And she's been taking swimming lessons in her hometown pool, and I was able to be there today to watch her take her swimming test so that she could go into the deep end and use the slide at the pool. So
delightful.
Very proud.
Yeah, very proud. Now, let's go back a moment to the community activism and with the Y, because you are founder of the Y in Farmville, Virginia. And I remember when, because the Y served Charlotte County. What does it serve? Charlotte County?
Serves parts of 5 counties.
Parts of 5 counties.
Yes.
So tell us a little bit about how you got involved with the Y, in bringing the Y to Farmville. Because in a rural area, in that side of Virginia, there's nothing. There's no place to go to hang out, to do any kind of things. There's literally nothing. So how did this come to be?
Well, it actually grew out of the Adolescent Pregnancy Prevention Program, and there were 2 or 3 women, and we were in our 30s at the
Okay.
time, and all of us had finished having our children, and basically we were still looking for something to give birth to, I
Okay,
think.
yes.
And
I like that analogy about giving birth to something else other than physical birth.
That's
to
right.
Yes.
And, we felt like that we could do a lot of educational programs, but unless you give people alternative activities where they can see people being healthy, where they can see families working out and enjoying things together, then you're falling short of what you need to offer for the community. In addition, Farmville is a unique community because there is some history there within the civil rights area,
Yes,
and
yes.
there's a lot of work that needs to be done to bridge the pain and the sorrow that has occurred in the past. And so it was an attempt, and not an attempt, but it was a project that basically was meant to bridge the community. And there's nothing more delightful than to see side by side on the treadmills, on the ellipticals, people of all color, people of all religions, people of all income levels, side by side, working together.
Wonderful. So I know you've worked tirelessly, I can't get the word out here, in making that a success. And I know because you have a beautiful facility now where it used to be a piece here and a piece there and a piece there. So it really worked out really well. And I know you've taught classes there. And also the other neat thing that Patsy is doing, I'm going to toot a horn for here now. She travels around the state and certifying other group exercise instructors. Tell us a little bit and where your next training is going to be.
And the next training should be in the Clarksville area. I'm scheduled to go down there in the fall to the Y down there, and we'll be doing basically the 12-hour initial program that certifies group exercise instructors for the Y. And there are probably, in another weekend, there probably will be some additional classes for people who are already certified who can recertify, get their recerts.
Yeah, and I'm planning on being in that bunch to recertify myself as well with that. I'm looking forward to coming to and being a part of it with you. So if you had one piece of wisdom that you would like to leave with our viewing audience about life or whichever area that you want to go in, what would you tell our audience?
I think especially for women that it's important for you to understand what makes you whole and what makes you you, and look within yourself for that and not look to others to validate yourself, and really stick with those people that are good to you and good for you.
And that's what she's saying, ladies and gentlemen, and I know all of you are aware, that you surround yourself with good support systems. We didn't get a chance to kind of talk about that.
That's
because
correct.
But having a good support system, like she's a part of my support system. She's my friend, and we all need to have people that we talk to and go to, and people that we trust, and people that are going to be on the same page with you, but also people that will tell you the truth, not just sugarcoat what they say to you, not just tell you what you want to hear, but tell you what you need to hear without shaming, blaming. I call it carefronting. That's not my original word, but it is called carefronting when you do that. Well, it's been such a joy, Patsy.
Thank you, Yemaja.
For having you come from Farmville. I know your mother's out there, and we're just glad you took time out. She just came from Williamsburg. She had to go pick up her mother, so she's always doing something. She's a very family-orientated person, and that's one of the things that I admire about her and that I like about you. I love you dearly, Patsy.
I love you too.
It's such a joy to have you. So we're going to take a break, and we're going to come back with the second half of Fit, Fun, and Fabulosity.
I've been blowing kisses since the day began. Quietly across the room to you they swam. You had no idea of my little wing charms, floating round your head until the sun went down. I've been blowing kisses since the day began. I've been blowing kisses like a fool. I've been blowing kisses since the day began. Quietly across the room to you they swam. You had no idea of my little wing charms, floating round
Chirp. Chirp. That sure looks like smoke. I'd usually be going pretty crazy right now with some impressive beeping noises designed to wake even the most sound sleeper. Only problem is, my battery is really, really low. In fact, it's almost dead. It's a shame, really, because all you have to do is check once a month and give me a new one if need be. That's it. Sounds simple enough, right? Well, I really wish you could have heard my beeping. I was always a good beeper.
In the small town of Elmira, New York, a boy was born into an all-American family. The odds of him achieving his dream in the fashion industry? 1 in 23 million. The odds of having a child diagnosed with autism? 1 in 110. I am Tommy Hilfiger, and my family is affected by autism. Learn more at autismspeaks.org/signs.
Yeah, I just picked her up. We should be there in 20 minutes.
Who is it? Oh, it's him. Where is he?
I know. Yeah.
Look at those numbers. Woo! Look at the numbers! Yeah! Yeah! Oh, that's success, baby! Yeah! Can you believe we get paid to do this? It's only Monday. It's only Monday.
Excited about what you do? Well, pass it on. As a Junior Achievement volunteer, you can bring your enthusiasm to the classroom and give a few kids a little something extra to get excited about their future. Share a little something of yourself. Be a JA volunteer.
Welcome back to Fit, Fun, and Fabulosity. I'm Belinda Todd, and I know you're surprised to see me tonight, but I wanted to get here in the hostess seat so that I could actually interview Yemaja and hopefully L.Roi Boyd, because they are doing some wonderful things in the community, and we thought you needed to know about it. There have been fabulous couples, pairs in the entertainment industry for forever. George and Gracie Allen, Lucy and Desi, Sonny and Cher. But tonight I wanted you to meet Yemaja, Jubilee, and L.Roi Boyd. Now, unfortunately, Roy is tied up in traffic, and we are expecting him any minute, but we're going to go on anyway. So I want to talk about the production company that the two of you have started, Cultural Libations. So Yemaja, tell us about, I know you've got a mission and just a lot of goals for the company.
Yeah, we decided how this came to be, well, actually, out of doing, I said I wasn't going to tell nobody, and we found that we had a mutual love for the arts and creativity and ways to express it, and found that we created beautiful things together. You know, the relationship was there, and so we decided, okay, we needed a venue. We needed some platform where we could just go out into the community, decide what we want to do, and then bring it to the community. And how that came to be. So we created Cultural Libations, and of course we used Cultural Libations because we wanted it to be Afrocentric.
Yes.
And libations where we'd extend the libation to everybody, so it's inclusive.
Yes.
And not just Afrocentricity in it, but it would be to everybody. So that was also it.
As I recall from my African history, to offer libation, to pour out, was almost like pouring out a blessing to people. It was to honor them. I know that you have some wonderful projects on tap right now. When Roy comes, we're going to talk about the Juneteenth activities coming up this weekend. But you are now together doing a production called Vivacious.
Yeah, Vivacious, yes.
Yes, tell us about that.
That particular project came to be because both of us have a love for Minnie Riperton music. And as you are aware, Minnie Riperton died of breast cancer when she was 31 years old, and July the 11th is the anniversary of her death. So we decided that, well, maybe we need to do something, because we know there are a whole lot of people that don't know all the... She was a prolific songwriter.
And even young people today know some of her songs because they're still popular, but they don't know about her life.
They don't know about her life, and most of the people know, they recognize Loving You because of all that. She had that like 5-octave voice and everything.
Yes.
And so that was the reason why, is to bring awareness to that, to bring awareness to her. Most of all, because if you listen to her music, she's very gentle. Was a sweet soul, and all the lyrics that are in the songs, and some of them her and her husband wrote together, you know, and some of the things that she did, she was right. You know, she had a nice family, 2 kids. I think she had 2 kids.
Yes.
But all the songs, they have such a nice ethereal touch to them. I want to say it was like heavenly touch.
Yes.
So we decided we wanted to put together something that would be a musical journey through her life, and that Vivacious is a word that she was on one of the TV shows, and they asked her how would she describe her music, and she said vivacious.
Yes.
So
That's great. I remember her as a lady with the high and very beautiful voice and the flowers in her hair.
Yeah, she always wore the baby's breath in her hair. Yes.
So is it already cast in rehearsals?
We're already in rehearsal, and we will be announcing a date. It's going to be in August.
Okay.
We have not quite finalized this because we are making sure that everybody's schedule kind of works together for it. But it's probably going to be around August 15th, and it will be at the shop. It will be at the shop. We've already cast people in. We're in rehearsal right now, and we are working through it. We have this young person who's 10 years old who's making his debut. Elijah Coles Brown.
Yes.
And you're also doing.
Yes.
Yeah, she's also.
I wasn't going to tell nobody,
but we'll put it out there now.
Yes,
we put it on out there. She's it's a wonderful way to, with the age range in it. I don't want to give too away of it.
And he is an amazing young man, just amazing. Yeah. So this is something that we certainly hope. We want to put it out there now. We cannot tell you the exact date, but look for it because it's going to be a wonderful performance. And the young lady who does Minnie,
yes,
has that softness.
Angela Crawley,
that she has.
Yes. She has that softness and that sweetness and innocence, like you said, the innocence about her that's really going to go over well. Because I feel like when you audition people and you can tell how they function from inside out, not from outside in. Angela has that innocence. Yeah. And she knows music, and she puts her heart into it, and that's what it's all about.
Yes. You along with Roy have a gift for recognizing talent.
Yes.
And almost a nose for where you can find talent.
Yeah, and you know what happens, like what happened with Elijah Coles Brown, who he learned the Martin Luther King speech in 2 weeks, memorized a 6-page speech, and was able to deliver it. And my tax accountant, Brenda, his mother, is the secretary to my tax accountant. And I went there to get my income taxes done, and she had seen some things that we were doing in the community. She said, well, Miss Jubilee, I got something I want to show you. And she showed me that video, and I was just blown away by it. I was blown away by it. I'm saying, and I called Roy. I said, Roy, you're not going to believe this. I called my minister at the church. I called my pastor at church. I said, you're not going to believe what I just found.
Yeah.
So things come to us. I feel like when you have when you send out the energy, and you attract those things to you, and you look and it's like God just kind of drops them in your lap, because it is a divine thing. It is. You know, it's about divinity.
Yes.
And it's a spiritual thing, you know.
And when you have an intention in your spirit for things to happen, then you might as well expect it, because it's going to happen. We're so excited because Roy is now coming into the studio. Excellent. We've been talking about you.
Oh, good.
Oh, good. I'm going to give you just a minute to get your breath, and then I want you to talk about Juneteenth activities coming up this weekend. But while you're doing that, Yemaja, you have some goals as a production company, And tell us about some of your goals.
Well, the goal is, the mission, part of our mission is to, we do bring in younger artists, and we do want also them to collaborate with people that we find with us.
Mm-hmm.
But also what we want to do, we want to keep spiritual principles in everything that we do by what, we're going to have literary projects that are going to be in the community, that we'll be putting up books later on in the year. Both of us are working on books. And you can elaborate more on
Welcome. It is so nice to have you. This is L.Roi Boyd, the second half of Cultural Libations.
Yes.
And so please, tell us what you're working on now as far as Juneteenth.
Well, Juneteenth is, of course, the celebration, the annual celebration, in which we honor the time at the end of the Civil War, where slaves in Texas received the word late that the war was over. You're talking about April 1865, and I think Lincoln was assassinated about a week later. Pardon me. They didn't get it till June. So
there was no Texan.
Yeah, exactly. None of that. So we celebrate it here annually through the Elegba Folklore Society. CEO of Elegba, I'm sure everyone knows, is Janine Bell. She's been doing that for years. And this year, I will be emceeing the entertainment part of Juneteenth, as well as participating in the dramatic interpretations of. Yes. Mm-hmm.
Good.
Yeah.
What can we expect?
Oh, yes. What can we expect? You can expect great music. An African artist is coming to kick it off on Thursday evening.
Okay.
Lyra is her name, and that is
yes.
right.
Yes.
Yeah, that is going to be at the Hippodrome. Now, that's Thursday night.
And that's this Thursday.
Yes.
My dates.
19th.
Is it the 20th?
No, the 19th.
Okay.
Thursday the 19th. Friday the 20th, we will be at Pine Camp Cultural Arts Center.
All right.
And there's going to be an extravaganza there. There's going to be a variety of acts, a variety of music. And the Ifa Temple from Baltimore will be coming to give an African concert and extravaganza on Saturday as well. And Saturday, the headliner, the big musical headliner Saturday afternoon would be Lady E and the Blues Sensations. So you do not want to miss that. If you've been in Richmond for a little while, you're a jazz and blues aficionado, you know about Lady E, so yes.
So you're not a newcomer. You're not a cucumber. You're not a newcomer to the theater and this arena of expression. Tell us about some of the things you've done. You've been directing and writing and creating.
I've been doing it. I've been doing it since I was a child.
Okay.
That's just the best way to put it. I think my first role that I remember that I actually enjoyed doing, I was the Ghost of Christmas Present in A Christmas Carol in 6th grade it was. And, I just went on from there. High school, I was very active. Was part of the International Thespian Society. High school, I won the Best Actor Award 4 years in a row, but I still didn't think I was that good. I didn't believe that I was good for a while until a professor in college, who I greatly respected, told me that you're not bad. So I thought, okay, so if
you're not bad.
So
that was encouragement enough.
Yeah, if he said that, then okay. So I went in higher ed. I've earned my first master's in theater from Old Dominion University. I discovered directing. Started directing in the 90s, been directing for almost 20 years now.
Wow.
Acting is my first love, but I really love directing.
Yes.
So I've just been doing it for years.
Well, now I know that Yemaja is a writer.
Yeah.
And not only has she writes poetry, song, but your how would we describe? I said I wasn't going to tell nobody, but I couldn't keep it to myself. How could we describe that to the audience?
Well, what I would say about that, and we're in negotiation to go to Unity of DC in September, so we're working on it presently as we speak. And that particular piece is a composition of 22 poems, and they really go from one poem to the next to show how I have grown from inside out. They're very
so it's autobiographical.
Oh yeah, they're about autobiographical, and they are about transitioning from seeing things externally and being reactive to it, and learning how to respond spiritually to it. So in an effort to get out the feelings that I was going through at the time, I wrote about it. Like the first poem is called "Where Have All the Christian Folk Gone? They Sure Ain't Going to No Heavenly Home." That was the poem I wrote when I was 16. And at that time, as a young girl, I could not express myself, so I had a journal. I had a little diary, they call it.
Yes.
Diary. And so I started writing down things. And that was the first poem that I wrote. And as I went through the years, and I went through a lot of things that I was unable to talk about, it became a poem. And the poems have lots of feelings in them: codependency, addiction, relationships. It deals with being a woman and discovering the feminine essence of God, who God is, and my inner transformation to finding the way that I needed to relate in the world. All of the poems, it's wonderful. When the last
it is wonderful. It's been done several times in the Richmond area, and for you to now be taking it up to the DC area to broaden your audience, I think that's fabulous.
Yeah, that's fabulous.
That is fabulosity.
Yes.
We will do it in Richmond again. We are quite certain.
Wonderful. And we had talked about the performance of Vivacious. We talked a little bit about that. We are anxious to give our audience a date. So the next time she has a show, I'm sure we can begin to put that out there, and that's something you can mark your calendars.
Yes.
Put a check mark on that date.
If I can give people our Facebook page, because everything that you want to know about what we're doing, all you have to do is just go to that page. As you know the first part, facebook.com/ on lowercase Cultural Libations, CULTURALLIBATIIONS. I can't spell, but yes.
And we want to let the audience out there know that you may have questions. If you do, we do have a phone number at the bottom of the screen for you to call.
Yes.
If you have any questions. I think it's just so interesting when all of us are creative in some way. I believe that our Maker has given us all something, and many times people don't use it. Don't recognize they have it, because usually your gifts are those things that are easy for you. So do you, and with having said that, do you work with children to, I know you have worked with adults, and in doing that you bring out their creative side, but do you have any other areas of classwork or workshops or anything like that you do?
We hope to start that up in the future, as far as by trade, I am a voice speech professor, voice and diction professor. And we are currently mentoring a young man at the moment right now.
Yes, we talked about
you talked about Elijah. Okay.
Yes, Elijah's wonderful.
Yes, so he's one that I'm working with right now, and I had a couple of offers for many others. So yes, I enjoy working with children. I taught middle school for 9 years.
Okay.
So yeah.
Where do you see your company going?
Do you have any
long-range plans?
Okay, you can ask me, then you can ask Yemaja, but if to speak for me,
for the production company.
Yeah. I think we, take it one day at a time. I think the important thing is for us to just stay centered with where it is. Sometimes it's hectic. Doing it all by ourselves. I think talked about we will one day find maybe one assistant to
Yeah,
help
we need
us
to have
out.
an assistant.
And I'm sure that will come.
If you want to buy, look, I can put the plug. We are definitely in need of someone to volunteer because we are a grassroots organization. And what happens out of that is it's a lot of work to put things together that sometimes there are not enough hours in the day to do it. Because we care about quality.
Absolutely.
And we care about the spiritual piece in it. We care about we have integrity as well.
Yes.
And I think that plays it, because one of the other reasons why we brought this together for Cultural Libations is because some of the things that we were seeing, a lot of people just, they're all into, I got this talent over here and nobody else has talent.
Yes,
You know?
yes.
Or I'm better than you, and it's the ego.
God didn't give them all the
And
talent.
I'm telling you. So what we try to do is we give service. I feel, because our motto is outpouring light, love, art, and service. That's what we're all about.
Everything we do is a libation, like at the end, you will probably see either at a live production at Playbill or at the end of a video, we will have a cultural libation.
Yes.
Not a production, but a libation.
Yes.
I love that. I love it. Oftentimes, people will say, well, I've got, in the back of my mind, I've been thinking about doing this or that. And as you have been working on the life of Minnie Riperton, I was thinking there must be some others that perhaps you've thought about, lives of entertainers or people that you could bring alive in the theater. Had that crossed your mind?
No, not really. I do have ideas of maybe books on some people. Coming from an academic background, if I were to describe myself as a writer, I kind of lean a little bit toward in that area. I don't know, but yeah, if you talk about some maybe entertainers, historical figures or such, yes. I would like to talk about people who haven't really had too much of a chance to be displayed. For instance, I tell you, one of my dreams is to write a book on Max Robinson.
The
first African American
reporter or news journalist,
anchor.
Was he?
Anchor on a major network. Yeah. So.
Very interesting life. Another life that was short-lived too. Max Robinson's life.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes. Well, I'm excited. I'm so glad that you've asked me here to talk about Cultural Libations with you. I'm excited about the work you're doing, but all of the work that you do seems to carry a spiritual overtone. So it tells me that there must be something, a driving force in your lives that that give you this creative energy and a driving force. Do you want to talk about that a bit?
Well, one of the things that I've grown in is my spiritual connection through prayer and meditation and spending time in the stillness and the silence. And what I've noticed is my mother was a very creative person. Through her canning and the way that she put a meal together. It was an art. It was an art. She put love in everything that she did. And even in her clothing, the way she was a minister's wife, and she had all these crowns and hats that she would wear. She was one of the most creative women, and she influenced me a lot with her dancing, with her singing, with her beautiful voice, and played the piano, but never played it out in public.
Wow! Yes.
So for me, watching her go through her creative process, I'm now just getting in touch with my own, and it's so amazing because I can put something in my head, and I wake up with a song. I wake up and I have to go through the house and sing it, or I'll wake up with a word. It comes, and I was just telling my father that today. About how I am really just in tune with that, because he used to tell me, he's a minister, and he used to tell me, well, if you go to bed at night, you pray about it, you sleep on it, you're gonna get up in the morning, you're gonna have it.
Yes,
and that is true.
It is,
and that's and the spirit. That's the spiritual piece about it, because I feel when it comes through you, it's not me that's doing this; it comes through me. It's a gift.
We are the conduits. We are the channels. That's all. And
well, I think oftentimes in today's world, we are not still enough. There's so much going on around us, so many stimulants that people, because everybody's got it.
Yes.
We've got the
Yes.
answers to what we need on the inside of us, but we just don't stay still enough to allow it to come out. To come out. Because as you talked about your mother, and I think about Maya Angelou, who just passed, if you look at her life, she did so many things.
Yes.
And oftentimes, I don't think we are living life to our fullest because we don't take advantage of all we have on the inside of us.
Yes.
you know, to be Renaissance people, as they say, as the term is, because we do wear a lot of hats.
Mm-hmm.
We were blessed with many talents. And I believe we were blessed with many talents, and it is important to give as equal time as possible to those talents, because you're going to reach all kinds of people. So, you know, we will reach people who will best be reached through a book, people who would best be reached by a film, people who would best be reached by Nia in Zumba, you know. So
or a song, yes.
Or a song, yes. So I think that's really the joy in our many talents, and therein you find the Spirit right there. The Spirit in and of itself, the expression and the outpouring of the Spirit. Yes, there's a very spiritual connection here because that in and of itself is the Spirit itself.
Yes,
you know, and you know, it is the center of our lives.
That's great.
So
that's great.
The very essence of who we are is based in spirituality.
Absolutely.
Very essence of
Both of you have something that I noticed, and that is a way of making up new words.
Yeah.
FAB-U-LOSITY. All right, now, there's something you said to me
Oh, yeah.
the other day. What was that?
Okay, I didn't make up this word.
You didn't make it up.
Okay, but
It's a fun word.
It's a splendiloquent.
Splendiloquent.
Splendiloquent, which is the fusion of splendid and eloquent.
I
Yes.
love it.
So,
I love it.
yes.
Yes, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Well, this is your show.
Yes.
So I'm going to give you the last word. What is it that you would have your audience
Season
to know?
finale. First of all, I just want to...
Was this the end of the season?
Yes, it is. This is the last show for the season. Yes, it is.
And I just want to congratulate her on a great success.
It really was well
know,
done. Well done.
She did it. She did it.
and I'm so grateful. I'm just so thankful. I have to give acknowledgement to the creator that runs through me. I am the isness of what is being expressed. And I want to thank you, Belinda, for agreeing to coming in and doing this and being a part of Cultural Libations and helping us bring forth the ideas that we come with. I just really appreciate your friendship. And I invite our viewing audience, the word that I want to leave with you as we say, we're not going to say goodbye.